ネイバーズだ。
Television proudly presents America's favorite kid show host, Rainbow Randolph!
So you'll make sure my boy dances up front when he gets to sit in the chair? Little booger eater on my shoe.
Meet Randolph Smiley. He once was rich. He once was famous. And he once was sane.
Rainbow Randolph is the king. Yes, oh yes he is.
They kicked me out of the corporate penthouse. I'm homeless.
I can assure you, this network could not survive another Rainbow Randolph.
Don't touch me! I'm a shot! Salmonella!
Sir, it is my personal mission to find a satisfactory replacement. Get me Smoochy.
You're telling me that KidNet is finally ready to pursue a show of Smoochy caliber?
Hey, it's Smoochy! Come on!
Hello, New Jersey!
Despise you.
I load you!
Now,
My body was barely cold and you went to work for the Rhino.
I gotta eat, don't I?
the only way to take back his career is to take down his replacement. In this jungle,
Going on safari. Safari!
hunting season
What's this?
Trust me, Sheldon, it's a handy accessory to have in this business.
never ends.
Tear him apart! Now and forever! What's up?
Robin Williams, Edward Norton, Danny DeVito, Catherine Keener.
What does it all mean?
Death to Smoochy.
Hello and welcome back, movie friends. We have movie friends now. People like us.
I was thinking it's not like a bad Kinder and movie phone meet.
Yeah.
Like if movie phone really tried to survive, it was like movie friends.
Movie friends.
Yeah.
And it would be like Discord for fans of movies, I guess.
Yeah, I was thinking like a super nerdy chat with live singles.
Reddit 4chan
Yeah.
style fucking.
Are we doing Sonic? Because this is what this is turning into.
I believe we're already there.
Instant.
This movie's wacky enough to warrant this type of intro. We're doing the Death to Smoochy, which is a 2001?
2002.
2002. Another one from the infamous year of cinema, apparently.
Yeah, no, we mentioned it like 2 or 3 times in Insomnia because it was like that year because 1 Hour Photo, Death to Smoochy, and
All
Insomnia.
The sequels, I mean, God, everything came out that year.
He unironically kind of did like the Jim Carrey, like, because in 92 or something like that,
Jim Carrey.
he had Dumb and Dumber.
Irene.
Wasn't Irene. Dumb and Dumber, something, and Pet Detective.
Yeah.
Were like all in that same year, back to back to back to back. So yeah, like this little era of Robin Williams is kind of like that. It's just not as talked about.
Right. And directed by Danny DeVito.
Yes, we're doing Death to Smoochy, obviously. Danny DeVito.
Smoochy, yeah. Starring Danny DeVito as well.
Yeah, he plays his. I guess he becomes his manager / like middleman between him and the mobsters and the top higher ups.
He's like the top TV guy.
Yeah,
like the head of.
He's not. Speaking of the guy from KidNet.
Yeah.
That guy with the beard and like you see him for like 2 seconds. Looks kind of like a low budget Santa Claus. That's the same boss from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh yeah.
He's the TV station manager in that as well. So I like to think it's like the same universe.
Oh, it's got to.
Because, like, what are the odds he's playing a TV show network exec higher up in 2 films?
Right.
So the question is, like, is this, like, another Mrs. Doubtfire character?
It definitely.
Or is this, like, after Mrs. Doubtfire failed?
It definitely is, because later
they
on,
brought him back.
He does the Easter egg where he uses the voice.
Yeah.
You actually hear Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, he's, when he's luring Norton to, like, the Nazi rally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, like, the, what is his something finger or something? But yeah, he's doing like a terrible accent.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
But you told me this is like your favorite Robin Williams now.
Yeah,
what do you think it is?
This is after seeing it. This is Robin Williams as like a complete package. You see classic Robin Williams stand up acts in this film.
Yeah, his like really jittery.
The way he moves, the way he talks, is franticness in general. You get, like we just said, the Mrs. Doubtfire reference. You get all of his voices, all of his different personalities. He takes all of his own bumps. He falls down the stairs in this movie, and it's one of the best scenes.
Oh yeah, he does have like a little spill.
No, it's one. Yes, it's great. Watching it, to me, it was one of the best scenes I've seen recently because you could tell he took.
What was going on in that? That was the fight with him and Norton.
He was. It may have been. I can't recall.
But it is in like his Is it in his or the Angelo's apartment?
Yeah, it's in one of the apartments, and he's going down the stairs, and there's like a brick wall at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh yeah, and he like fucking busts his face open, his like tooth is chipped and shit. Yeah,
and
I forgot that.
It looked so good.
Yeah, and
one long shot. That's what gave it away for me. It was like he definitely took the ball. It would because the camera's way back.
Yeah, there's no.
You see him open the door
doing it twice,
and then it boom when he hits the wall.
Yeah,
the camera changes, but. One of the best scenes, like so good that I actually remember it today.
There's a lot. The movie is very, very memorable.
But I love the plot. I love
everyone and everything.
Kinda, yeah.
It's great.
Like you get the best, like unhinged Robin Williams as well.
Yeah, you were saying like it had this umbrella of like, oh, it has all your Robin Williams here. It's like all the food groups. I don't want to say gets into more of his serious acting territory, but he uses bits of his like serious acting to be that.
Yeah, it's all in a comedic way because his character is batshit crazy. But like in the restaurant, I know several times they go to restaurant scenes, and in the restaurant he'll like drop a line that's like so sinister sounding, and it's like, oh shit, that's the Lord Robin Williams. Look at him.
Yeah, his lines and like dialogue.
And when he gets arrested, he's like, "I'm fucking Rainbow Randolph."
I think my
kids fucking love me.
Oh, in the beginning, the FBI thing where the parents are bribing. They're like, "Yeah, he'll get on the big chair, right?" Yeah, I love it. It's such a great intro. Someone I talked to.
Willy Wonka, so Willy Wonka.
It is. It's very Willy Wonka, and he did a movie around the same time, Toys.
Yeah.
You've seen the VHS cover. He's got the top hat, and it's like really weird. it looks like those two together. It's really fucking great. But speaking of his sleazy lines, it's not even vulgar. But in my opinion, the sleaziest line is "Welcome to Fatty Arbuckle Land." Do you know like anything about that?
No.
You've heard me mention him, but you were making a comment like, "Oh, what's like some like old good like in all seriousness films and like things." I was like, let me explain to you the hierarchy of kind of like where acting went and how like we got here.
Yeah,
the silent actor Fatty Arbuckle,
right?
His career was fucking ruined by a rape and murder allegation.
No,
he threw a party in pre or kind of post-prohibition era. Anyway, a girl ended up getting injured and dying that night or that morning. He's a celebrity. They framed him instantly.
Oh, of course.
And his career was fucking ruined. He was found innocent like years later, but it didn't matter. And so that line is like so disgusting to me as like a cinema historian. It was like, oh.
We were just talking about it. How many roles does Robin Williams have where he is like risque with his lines? Like in anything, he toes the line between adult and kid friendly. Like it's a kid friendly line, but the context he's using it in is very adult.
It's so
he
blurred.
Everything so geniusly that it went over kids' heads.
Yeah, it's his line is very blurred, but he's never crossed it.
Yeah.
No matter how extreme I've seen him go, whether
even in this movie, the dick cookies.
Oh, I love it.
It's so funny. And he's like, yes, I got him. And Edward Norton's like, it's a rocket ship.
I love it. And I wonder if it's a reference because in It's Always Sunny, Cricket makes the drug brownies in a trash can. And, like, they're both making comments, and Danny DeVito, obviously, is the director of this. And I wonder if it's kind of like a nod to... It's a very particular thing to cook baked desserts
in
a trash can by a low-life scumbag.
Right.
And no one makes a fucking scumbag like Danny DeVito does.
Oh my god. He's the best scumbag.
He really is, and he writes some of the best ones. Have you seen Duplex? It's Ben Stiller and
with,
Drew Barrymore?
Yeah.
I'm glad you've seen that. Another, obviously, directed by Danny DeVito.
He did direct it.
Yes, he's the narrator as well.
He is the narrator.
Yeah.
I've seen it a while back. I haven't watched it recently.
Because his thing is he likes cameo. He does like the whole, I'm in my own movies.
Yeah, Stephen King stuff.
Because I was thinking the other week, I was like, he's not in Duplex, but he directed it. He's the fucking narrator, isn't he?
While we're going through the cast, Jon Stewart kills it in this movie.
Who is he?
He's the agent. He's Robin Williams' agent at first, and then he's the guy that drops him, and then he's pressed to find
him and someone else, or Tommy Cotter. He's at the end. He's the one in the suitcase?
Yes.
You boys ever traveled together?
Yeah.
Love it.
And Catherine Keener is the mom from Step Brothers.
That is her.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, because I didn't look it up.
She plays the character Nora Wells, which is his partner, Jon Stewart's partner. Because they're both working the whole time trying to replace Robin Williams, like on short notice. And then, it's got to be squeaky clean and all this shit. And then they're like running down the list of the characters in the scene. And like each one, he goes, oh, he beats his wife. Oh, he's got 6 DUIs. Well, he's in jail now. I don't know if we can get him out. Like as they're going down the different children's cartoon characters. And it's so
they finally get to Edward Norton because he's
so funny that they would make that joke though, and then like years later you hear about the Elmo guy and all the ones on Sesame Street.
What was the Elmo guy?
The 2 Elmo guys now.
What does that mean?
Little kids.
What?
Yes.
Elmos are diddlers?
Surprise.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
And several other of those.
Pee Wee Herman had the big sex scandal. Well, not sex scandal, the masturbation scandal. Which, can we talk for a second, like, realistically? He did nothing wrong. I mean, I get it, he jerked off.
It was a bad look.
But he jerked, I know I get it, he's a kid show host, but he jerked off in a porn theater.
Yeah.
Because I remember as a kid, everyone was like, oh, he jerked off in a theater, and I'm thinking, like, the worst. It's like, oh, he's jerking off in like a kid's movie, like, oh, and like, as an adult, I was like, it was a porn theater?
Yeah.
What the fuck? It was after it, apparently. Like, it was Pee Wee Herman was like a dead character.
Right. I don't know why the hype. I guess just because of the names thing.
It was just he was the big host at the time.
It was a good joke. And let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it killed on TV.
Barney didn't fuck up this week.
Right. Yeah.
I do like that Ruben has recovered from it. I see him pop up here and there. He just did with Netflix a couple years ago. The new Pee Wee.
Oh wow!
It was like. I don't know the name of it. It was like Pee Wee 2 or 3 and like a consecutive movie. Anyway, yeah, Jon Stewart's in this, and he wasn't in movies a lot. He was in Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
How High? Not How High.
The other one.
Half Baked.
Half Baked.
He was a $20 bill.
Yeah.
You
see the guy back, he's calling in this airstrike, man. They're coming. There's Charlie everywhere.
Code Blue, yeah, I love it.
He's like, all right, man, and just give me the money. There we go.
Yeah, I forgot Jon Stewart was in this.
Yep. And he's super good.
Yeah. He's a good... It was of the time casting, but it still doesn't feel out of blue now. It's not like, what the fuck is Jon Stewart doing there? It's relatable as far as casting goes. It aged well. I mean... Yeah. But yeah, the whole time I was watching, I was like, that is the mom from Step Brothers, isn't it? And I kept looking, and I was like, okay.
I didn't realize that she had been around that long, because like I said, I've never seen or heard of this movie.
I'm surprised you hadn't, because this was on Comedy Central every fucking week. It was surprising that, like, it was, Lady Killers I get.
Yeah.
Insomnia I get, but like, yeah, if this movie wasn't on Comedy Central, I get it. But yeah, this was like, for some reason, I've watched this movie probably like 300 times on accident, just because like it was on at that era.
Yeah. And apparently I wasn't the only one to miss out, because the budget was $50 million and the box office only made 8.3.
Yeah, this was a huge bomb. A lot of Danny DeVito's movies are like very hit or miss.
Right.
He's not a director anyone seeks out, but he's very unreliable as far as like what you're gonna get. Because I mean, Matilda is him, and
Sure.
like everyone, I personally have no attachment to the movie. I never really watched it. Like I get it,
Yeah.
but it seemed
People
to
go
be.
nuts for that fucking.
Yeah, it was. There's a lot of people who are like, "Oh my god, Matilda," blah blah blah.
And I don't get it. Yeah.
I think what happened was there's two types of kids. There was the kids who liked Willy Wonka
Yeah.
because that's a Roald Dahl book, and
Right.
Matilda is a Roald Dahl book as well. And it was just we either gravitated one or the other. I mean, I know that Gene Wilder's way older, but it's just we still had it growing up.
Yeah. Our parents would have put us on that.
Yeah, it was
That's
still on
how
like
good it was.
AMC, and then every DVD house, every VHS house, we had it. So yeah, it was just Matilda is a very loved movie, but I think his Hoffa biopic flopped. I think,
Yeah.
and then this flopped, and I think Duplex maybe flopped.
Probably wasn't flop.
But the
Because
things
Ben Stiller went on a run of flops there. Remember that era? He went on a run of flops.
a lot of people say that, but it depends what era.
Well, no, like box office, like
I
technicality.
weirdly like a lot of Ben Stiller movies.
Me too.
I didn't realize it.
I'm a super fan of Ben Stiller.
But yeah, I saw that when I was like looking at Duplex. I was like, oh yeah, fucking Ben Stiller. He was in a lot of movies, and I was looking, and I was like, I like this.
And we glanced over it earlier saying it was a 2002 movie. It came out in March of 2002. So
Yeah.
to put that in perspective, 6 months after 9/11.
Yeah, I don't want to say and blame purely that, but it was a lot of things. It was the temperature of the people at the time.
Just tough.
It was shot and
crowd,
filmed
right?
in New York.
Yeah.
It was just, and I think that's why it got shoved on TV, and that's why I saw it 1,000 times, because it was just, we had to make our money back somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, people just, they didn't want it. And I get it. It's a very weird fucking movie, but like, it's not bizarre of the time. Because a lot of early 2000s and late 90s was just weird shit.
Yeah, super weird.
So it was just a mood, I think. People just weren't in the mood for a weird black comedy.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. It's really just like a super black comedy.
Yeah, there's no hiding it.
Yeah.
I've heard people not call it a black comedy. I'm like, they'll be like, oh, wait, it's just a comedy. I'm like, it's not comedy. It's fucking dark, dude. Rob Williams almost sets himself on fire in front of kids. Yeah, it's not a regular comedy. It's definitely in the mark of a black comedy, 100%. I guess it's plot time.
Yeah, plot time.
We went over the actors and the
Yeah,
actresses and
pretty
the
much.
kind of background budget. And yeah,
The plot is pretty simple, I guess, right? It's all about like behind the scenes of kid shows.
it's simple, but it gets convoluted at the end.
Super.
Like, because
Yeah.
there's like 2 or 3 hitmen
Yeah.
that just get introduced, but it is very simple
Yeah.
in its basic format.
But Robin Williams is the first TV show kid host, and he's huge, and he's Rainbow Randolph. And something happens with him.
He gets in trouble
With the FBI.
because I see it's illegal, and it's just more, it looks like it's frowned upon,
Yeah,
but he's taking bribes to get kids in the audience.
essentially, yeah.
And I get it, it's because there is such a large variety of cash, and there is, high up crime.
Right.
But yeah, he gets in trouble, and the scene is great because it's very juxtaposition. The intro of the movie, like it starts with
a Willy Wonka dance.
friends come in all sizes. You see the whole set, like Rainbow Land.
Oh yeah, it's Rainbow Land.
It's great. It's they call it the Crinkle Kids.
Yes. Yes.
It's great. God, I'm picturing in my head. It really is gorgeous. The sets they built.
Oh no.
I like that they were allowed to kind of like go extreme because like that's where the budget was going.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we need all these like exuberant location
The
shots.
rest were just walking around New York.
Like it can look like a set, so it can look like a really fucking nice set, but it's a set.
Oh no, they were putting on full-fledged Mr. Rogers Productions in there. Like they were.
But yeah, he gets busted. And like I said, to me, it's not like a super obscene crime. especially in comparison to what Norton gets framed for later.
Oh my God, yes.
So it's just like, really? But they had to clean house instantly. It's like they flush.
They cut ties. His agency drops him.
Overnight.
Robin Williams goes into this insane downward spiral.
Yeah, and it's very fast. Like, there's no in between of like, okay, he's losing it, or like, okay, he's a dickhead, he's getting what he deserved. It's just on paper. It's just, well, obviously he's not Rainbow Randolph in real life.
Yeah.
Obviously he's a little crooked.
Yeah.
To like, well, he's just getting fucking kicked by a mule, and just like, oh, by the way, he's got gonorrhea. It's just, none of this happens in the movie, just as far as extreme, out of nowhere.
The point that he's just like losing his shit in every scene.
It's great.
And, like, he gets progressively sweatier as the movie goes, and like his shirt's untucked.
My favorite is, yes.
He's like, please take me back. Please
he's like super scrubbed out.
Up in frame.
And he's super scrubbed out with the like little 5 o'clock shadow and like the bruises at this point. And he's got the rainbow jacket on top that he steals from set.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so good because it's so bad. And then you see that slowly turn to shit.
He keeps sneaking back into the same TV studio. Yeah. And like sitting up there with a mirror and watching the show.
He pulls a Tobias Funke.
Yeah. No shit, he's super Tobias. This is Tobias's grandpa.
Right. But that's clean house, and they start going down a list of all these characters. And I guess.
Yeah, from previous TV show attempts, I guess. Characters that weren't already on TV. Because they're looking to replace them with a new face.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're older acts. It's just it's acts that aren't on TV. It's just like the local, the really really good clown. The really really good.
He's back doing nursing homes and kids parties, shit like that.
And they go down the list like. There's like wife beaters and arsonist on the list, and they get to Edward Norton. And he's so squeaky clean.
He's the creator's creator. He's super integrity of the art.
Yes.
He's his creative vision. He says that a lot in this movie. It's I gotta keep my creative vision. He's such a like neo hippie type. It's so funny.
You're basically trying to describe Kanye.
Sorta.
Yeah. Edward Norton's playing Kanye.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, like he's super integrity, and he's trying to change everyone's lifestyle.
Yeah.
He really is like a visionary.
He can change the world.
Yeah,
that's his slogan. He said, "You can't change the world, but you can put a dent in it."
Yeah, or something like that.
It's stupid like good. That. Yeah, but he's like the super optimist, and we were talking about it before. Edward Norton should have followed this path with his career.
I think he's in some Wes. Can you look it up? Is he in some Wes Andersons? I feel like he's in at least one Wes Anderson, maybe Grand Budapest. I'm like 80% sure he's in Grand Budapest, and that's very much his humor. He kind of belongs in that quirky, kind of surreal area.
Right.
I don't like to compare actors to other actors, but honestly, he could be like a Bill Murray.
I can see something like that.
As far as like that dry, awkward line delivery about random shit. That seems to be like his like bottom line of humor.
The French Dispatch.
The French Dispatch, okay. Because I knew he was in a Wes Anderson film.
Yep. And he was in Grand Budapest Hotel as well.
I thought so, because I know the French Dispatch is in black and white, and obviously Grand Budapest is not, and I remember seeing him in like a very pink setting. Right. But yeah, Edward Norton is, I don't say underutilized, he does what he wants to do.
He does what he wants to do, and I think that's kind of the problem. If he had an agent that would kind of curate his movies for him, I feel like we could have got a like superstar elite body of work out of him.
He could have fluffed out his filmography, and in a good way fluffed out, not as far as just doing whatever comes to the window, but
because I said like if he could have had like the Jason Sudeikis role or like the Paul Rudd role eventually, those kind of rom-com in between quirky smart ass roles,
I could see him doing those, and like cause he does some art films here and there
for sure.
Like I said, he's still active.
No,
he's not,
and he's great.
Bereaved in any way on his fucking luck.
But if he would have dabbled more in the Hollywood, and I know it's him, it's his personal.
It's just him.
It's his personal issues. Nobody wants to deal with him at this point. But that's why he wasn't getting those looks. But if he could have played the game, I think he could have played it well. You know what I'm saying?
But from what he does have, especially his early mid-career, he's really probably I wouldn't say top 50, but he could potentially be in a top 60 as far as actor ranking. Because, I mean, just this and American History X.
Yeah.
That's it.
Italian job.
He is, like, he definitely, I've heard he's difficult, and he definitely has issues, and there's a reason, but I've never seen him and been like, well, he sucked in that. It was just the movie sucked.
And I don't know how true it is. I've never looked it up to or to confirm, but they say that's why he got ditched for the Hulk.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't work with Downey Jr.
I wouldn't even say it was that. I think it was just more like he's not a team player. He gets along with, like I said, I think that's why he's so good.
That was the one that put the foot down.
But I think that's why he's so good with DeVito, and he's so good with the, I forget the man's name that directed and came up with American History X, but I think that's why he works so good with these directors, because they're very guerrilla.
Yeah.
They're very on the spot.
Yeah. Probably
but they're
take
stern.
a lot of his input as well, I would imagine.
Yeah,
it's like, no, I think I want to do it this way. He's like, well, let's try it.
Yeah, they're stern but willing to listen, I think. I can see Danny DeVito being stern but willing to listen. I can see, I've seen as far as the background of American History X, the behind the scenes, etc., that it was very low budget and communicative friendly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Edward Norton is playing Sheldon.
Sheldon, yep.
Mope.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
it's great, and he's playing at a drug rehab clinic, right?
Yeah.
Get you off that smack.
Get you off that smack.
Right?
Some of the songs in this movie are fucking hilarious.
The best one is "My Stepdad's Not Mean."
Yeah.
But the "Get You Off" smack, because he's jabbing with the one guy who's not giving a shit. He's nodding off a method, and he's like, "We'll get you right, Billy."
Yep.
Sing the chorus, and he's like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
It's great. It's very dark.
He plays the naive character so well.
He is so naive.
So good.
And that's what I like about him and Robin Williams, because Robin Williams is very conniving in this.
And you would think it'd be the other way around.
Yeah.
Naturally, it's the other way around.
As far as what you're expecting, especially at that time.
Yeah,
again, you have
goofy.
You have Aladdin, and then the guy who is notoriously difficult already and did American History X.
Yeah, Fight Club. You know what I'm saying?
You can't really. Yeah, you can't have. What's Fight Club? Check. I think Fight Club was 2004 or something like that.
It may have been after.
I think it was a little bit after this, but nonetheless, again, you wouldn't expect that, but they play off each other very well. He's so naive. Oh, it's that old? Yep. I thought it was, but also it seems
American
weird.
History X is 98. Primal Fear is 96.
I think I've seen bits of Primal Fear.
I'd like to watch it.
Someone told me to watch it a couple times, and it's one of those things where it's I never get around to doing it.
Never have it readily available. Same thing with Smoochy, and same thing with Lady Killer, and same thing with Insomnia.
Well, we've gotten it. I think we now just said fuck it.
Yeah,
we spent all last season trying to legally and on streaming well, this is streamline, let's do this, and it was just by the start of season 2 we both looked at each other do you just want to buy DVDs and just end this bullshit? Because every movie we talked about, it's we had to find it for a month.
Yeah, and I think this would be way more fun of a concept as opposed to either reviewing what comes out tomorrow or doing the trendy picks, October, Halloween movies, Christmas movies, you know what I'm saying?
I don't mind dabbling in those, but yeah, I just enjoy the off-the-wall and just kind of...
Just like movies.
Finding actors.
Yeah, actors.
Because I didn't realize this is our third Robin Williams.
Almost, we did 1 hour photo months ago, but, back to back with...
Yeah, it was just weird that Insomnia, because I was looking, I was like, oh, these two, and I was like, oh, 2 Robin Williams, I was like, we 1 hour photo as well.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, alright, cool. So yeah, we just kind of weave between actors.
Yeah, we hit these veins of certain actors, like Totoro is the one that keeps popping up, and I think he's going to keep popping up.
Yeah, I think I want to look at some Edward Norton's, because I've seen in a lot of stuff I enjoy.
Me too.
Like I said, Grand Budapest is great, American History X is great.
I would not mind getting into some Wes Anderson.
Oh, he's great. You'll love him.
He's awkward. Yeah. I've seen Grand Budapest, and I think I've seen bits and pieces of French Dispatch, is it? Dispatch.
You may have seen it because you're more hip on like newer movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really great casting and they're phenomenal back and forth. But yeah, like I was saying, him and Robin Williams, he's so conniving, but Norton is so dull.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be nearly as conniving as he is.
Exactly. But it's Robin
great.
Williams, but that is the Robin Williams touch to it, and it puts it over the top.
That extra flair.
Yes, oh my god. How many scenes in this movie were shot in the back of a car? I lost track.
There's a couple, yeah, there's quite a few.
Track. Like, Robin Williams lives in the back of a car.
It's like Jackie Brown has a shit ton of car scenes.
Like,
for no reason.
For some reason, they keep pulling up to the same junkyard.
Yeah, that's probably the dirty work goes down. It's like between Chinatown and
But they keep pulling up to the same spot. And Robin Williams just keeps jumping at the same pile of trash into the back of these cars.
Yeah, he keeps getting picked up and kidnapped, picked up and kidnapped, picked up and
so
kidnapped. Yeah, it's
funny.
great. It's like his spawn point in GTA's The Hospital. It's great.
Because first, John Stewart pulls up and he's on the phone and he's like, God damn it, I'm waiting here, you know. And the dude, he's like, oh shit, he's here. He like climbs his back. He's like, no, you gotta get out. You have to go now. People are looking for you. Get out.
Shit.
It's so funny.
But yeah, they give him Edward Norton's character. We always do that. We just say the actor's name, and I always feel bad because it's like they're playing a character,
right?
So I'm always like, oh, yeah, Edward Norton takes a dump on this book, and it's just like, okay, well, Sheldon Moot actually, Sheldon Moot gets this like sweetheart deal.
Oh, super, yeah.
Instant keys to the castle because they're like, for some reason,
because they're desperate.
Yeah,
it's like ABC, NBC. It's like the heat of the 3 channel wars or some crazy.
Yeah,
shit.
They don't like tell you what era.
No, not at all. But you get that implication because like that dude's losing his shit. The president of the channel.
Oh yeah, like they're tanking. They are tanking money.
It's like, dude, you got like 24 hours. Calm down.
Well, little do you know. But yeah, she's given this sweetheart deal, and he doesn't instantly. They like try to get him to play ball, right?
Yeah. At first,
because he's on like the cereal and the fucking cheap toys, and then he gets mad.
Yeah, because he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito's signing all these deals behind his back, and he doesn't know. And he's like, "What the hell, man?" And Danny DeVito is playing both sides of the fence with the mafia, I guess, or the mob of.
I was trying not to mention the Irish mob.
But what it is, it's the head of these charities that host these fundraisers for these channels, for these shows, and shit like that. This one in particular is the what is it? Smoochy on Ice. Smoochy on Ice. They're pushing. They've already sold tickets for Smoochy on Ice, and Edward Norton doesn't know anything about it.
Oh, does it come that early?
Yeah, and when he finds out, because he turns it down like 3 or 4 times.
Okay, I thought so.
Before they pick him up.
Yeah. Okay.
But Danny DeVito's playing both sides of the fence the whole time. He's talking for Norton at the same time as talking for the mafia, trying to get him. Oh, I'll get him, and he's like, I'll talk to him. You know, he's going back and forth.
Yeah, he's like putting bugs in each other's ears.
And neither is getting anywhere.
No, I will give Sheldon his kudos. He definitely sticks to his
He does.
His morals.
He ends up falling in with the Irish mafia, though.
Yes, the Irish mafia that acts Italian.
Yeah.
Or it's just, I guess I'm just be stereotyped.
It's stereotypical
because it's like every shot seems to be like an almost a call to because like they're always in like that maroon and black.
Yep. They're always next to a fireplace with the French armchairs.
Everyone's eating. I forget who it is, but someone is. I guess it is around the time where the Irish mob comes in
because he tries to deny them at first. They're like, "No, we'll look out for you against the other ones," because he ends up liking them.
Yeah, they kind of just like come out of nowhere. Like they kind of get hinted at for like a couple lines, but then instantly it goes to just like. So you're coming to me on the daughter. It's great.
It's so over the top.
But yeah, it's Tommy Connor and Spinner Dunn is the olive branch.
Oh my God, yes, I forgot all about
because that's what brings in because Danny DeVito is there but Spinner's done once on the show. Like, he's done asking, and Tommy Cotter's like, just do it for him, please.
Please do it.
Spinner done. Oh, man. He is my favorite character in the movie.
This is our Wayne Diamond.
He's the best. Out of nowhere, Spinner Dunn just comes in. Fun fact, it's supposed to be Henry Rollins auditioned for the role.
You said that.
And I don't know if it's 100% true, but it's also one of those weird like facts. I'm like, I don't know where I would have picked it up.
Michael Rispoli is Spinner Dunn.
Yes. Yeah, he's a great character actor. He was in Sopranos.
He was. That's why his face is so familiar.
He's not in it for long. I think like between 3 and 10 episodes he's in there.
Right.
But yeah, Spinner Dunn is so fucking great.
He's the best.
He's punch drunk. He's done.
That's his thing, right? He was a boxer.
Yes, he was a boxer.
Professional boxer.
And he was obviously crooked before, because I mean his family's obviously mob.
Yeah.
But he was a boxer. Like, it wasn't like it was his side gig. Like, he apparently like went for it. And like tragic tales, he becomes fucking punch drunk. But I love him. He gets originally on a show in Safari.
Yeah.
Like a little Safari get up, he's like a ranger or something. Yeah. He's like clacking on a cowbell and
like purposely doing it all the time.
You can't.
To the point that the kids are looking at him crazy.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. You can't like write the reactions you get to people's reaction to him.
The look on Edward Norton's face, you could see that he
is getting done.
He had enough, and he's like in this fucking rhino costume.
Yes, the guy who was like feeding the last bite of his vegan hot dog to a homeless person is done with Spinner.
Like, he's side-eyeing Danny DeVito off camera, like, alright, this is getting close. You said this was supposed to be a vacation.
He's best. Like I said, there's no other way to describe it. His lines are phenomenal. And it's the settings, it's just the way he's doing it.
Because he comes off stage and he's still in his jungle safari attire.
He's like, once they get him on a show, he's never really out of the characters.
Till the next day.
Yes.
Because like he comes to the door and Edward Norton's changing and he's like, did I do good today? And Norton's like, I don't fucking care, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, he's like kind of like, at this point he's like not quite super annoyed, but he's getting there. And he's like, oh, no, you did good, buddy. But like, he's done. And yeah, it's just, okay, I'm gonna go take a dump now. He just wanders off. It's so good. And that's what makes it so good. It's just it's the way he's saying it, but it's just his surroundings. He's in this giant stuffed rhino costume, talking about his nuts itching, or he's clacking on a cowbell in the background of scenes. I hated that he got whacked.
He gets whacked.
I hated it.
He gets whacked.
It broke my heart.
That's coming up pretty soon in the plot.
I didn't want to. I was hoping it really was Edward Norton dead.
I thought it was too.
Because the movie, like, it opens.
First scene.
It is. I thought the first scene was Rainbow Randolph, so I guess it goes like that little like weird transition.
It does that. It does the credits. Then it goes to Randolph.
Yeah, Danny was weird about like the way he presents things.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you the plot, rushes through everything, ignores it, and then at the end, it all works perfectly together.
Yeah.
And it's just the way he works. It's just, he does that with the movies he produces as well, like Pulp Fiction's one of his productions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You've seen it, Get Shorties, and that's him.
Yeah.
He produced those and acted in those. And they all have that same vibe. This just happens to be a comedy.
Right.
So yeah, it's just, they rush it, introduce Spinner, then they drop the plot, and they go back to Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Because now he's sabotaging the show.
Yes.
And yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it jumps between like character introductions and then like introducing new characters.
And this is when we get the phone calls. The relentless Robin Williams phone calls.
Yeah, you get the phone calls, and this is the penis cookie scene.
Penis cookie scene and the setup for the Nazi rally.
Yeah, Spinner's nowhere near dead yet. We're just now introducing him and like his like little arc because he's not in it long.
He's not.
But, like, that whole middle portion is, like, this weird dry patch. Where it's like, now you have Robin Williams falling apart even more. He's living with Angelo, which is one of the Crinkle kids.
Yes.
Who is now in the Rhinettes.
The Oompa Loompas of this world.
Rhinettes, I think they're called. I think.
Yes.
Almost 100%.
Yeah, the replacement version.
Yeah, and you can. I love that you can still see, like, the blatant reuse of everything.
Yeah, it's
like,
hilarious.
It's the same trade. It's the same
color.
Fun Bridge. They just rename it. It's not the rainbow thing anymore. It's the Rhino Highway. It's so good. And that's what I was saying about, like, everything's a set. So it's either they just made this very exuberant set. You need to use it every time.
Yeah.
Because we're not building two sets.
That's a plus that this movie actually has going for it. It's a fascinating idea for a movie.
It really is.
The behind the scenes of
these this children's
the day in the life of the people that play the Barneys, the Big Birds, the Mickey Mouse. Like, those people go home too. It's like, what the fuck is that like? And you see like this.
Let's make a side podcast of like childhood criminal things.
That'd be hilarious.
Like the Power Rangers dude that killed a couple for the yacht.
If we're gonna be fair, the Power Rangers are pound for pound the most deadliest group of children's stars of all time.
Who's your proof?
There's first off, homeboy that plays Tommy choked out Jean-Claude Van Damme at Comic-Con.
This is true.
Choked him the fuck like.
Plus, he's a Christian.
Yeah, and he was Christian as fuck. And then you had the two that got married after the show, and went and bought the yacht and killed the people on the yacht and left their bodies out in the ocean and lived on their yacht for like 3 months.
Yeah, and it
until they had to come back for like fuel or food.
Okay.
And then you had one of the later Yellow Rangers cut somebody in half with a samurai sword.
Oh yeah, that was them too. Okay, cool. This is true.
Power Rangers, pound for pound, most deadliest TV trope of kid stars of all time.
They're a pretty fucking deadly troop.
Yeah. I bet the Americans, the fucked up crew, I bet they would kick the fuck out of the Japanese originals.
What was the Japanese one? The Japanese ones had to have some crazy. See, this is our side podcast. We're gonna do a whole crazy, weird, policey murder childhood shit.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That's a fact that I'm gonna carry that fact with me for life and be like, oh yeah? Oh, you thought the Irish mob was cool? Oh, really? Oh, really?
Power Rangers.
You were watching Power Rangers. At the time, I was like 3.
I do like that I asked you for evidence, and you immediately had 4 bullet points of evidence right there.
Oh, I've been waiting for the day that somebody's like, Power Rangers are pussies. I'm like, oh, are they?
If you were like a political campaign, you would have got my vote.
Yeah, right?
Campaign coming up, season 2.
And I always save the later Samurai one for last, because it's like, I don't really respect the later Power Rangers.
It's very cliche.
But now I have to. Yeah. The Yellow Ranger cut somebody in half. I was like, okay.
I mean, first of all, who doesn't have a sword?
Yeah.
Second of all, you're in a Power Rangers.
That episode of 1,000 Ways to Die, where the
you gotta be way more. There's a
the two dudes are like jumping on the bed, jamming to like the Ozzy album or something. Okay. They jump out the window. I just picture that as the samurai sword incident. Like, they're fucking partying, and the Yellow Ranger just gets like way too into it and grabs the samurai sword. What was the weird death? They jumped, headbanged out the window. That was how they died.
Yeah, that's not really. You jumped out the window.
I don't know. It was 1,000 ways.
Skull meets pavement. Yeah. That's not really. You can't count that.
I mean, they did.
999 ways to die.
Yeah.
Was it Ron Perlman, the narrator?
He was. I can't believe that was a show for so long.
We're a really terrible generation.
I see why we're not worth the shit now. Back to Smoochy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Robin Williams is sabotaging, and he's doing the penis cookies.
Yes.
Yes, this is where he makes the Fatty Arbuckle comment.
Yes.
And it's just so slimy. Like I said, it's just... you can say whatever you want, but yeah, it just... Saying something like that is just really weird. It's just like saying something against someone's kid. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
he said it because he knew he could get away with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No one but people like me are gonna know the whole Fatty Arbuckle thing.
It was a line that he knew he could get away with and drop, and people would just be, "Oh, Fatty Arbuckle, that's a funny name." You know
There's
what I'm saying?
And what's the other? You mentioned a threatening, but the safari. Going hunting. Safari, motherfucker. It's fucking priceless.
He's great.
It's easily top 10 anime betrayals. There's the whole Sheldon versus Ray Randolph.
Oh god. Yeah, his over exaggeration is Tom Hanks' Lady Killer's level.
Perfect.
Tom Hanks' Lady Killer's level. I give him same performance, equal grade, whatever that grade is.
Terrible, but in a good way. Do you remember any of the penis names he called the cookies? Because everyone quickly, he's like,
so many
rocket ship.
No, he said so many things. Oh my!
And then Robin Williams just comes. He blows his own plan.
Yeah,
it's so great. He just
because he's so mad at Edward Norton.
It's so great. He blows his cover and he just starts like screaming cock. Yeah, and like the ranchero and huevos. Yeah, wedding tackle. He's just going. He's just running up the hall screaming this at kids, and it's great. It's so unhinged. He gets thrown out like by security, right? Or is he arrested?
Yeah.
I think he's just thrown out.
Yeah, he's just thrown out. Get out. Because he keeps coming back in the same way.
Yeah, he's not like sneaking in.
No, it's like he lives there.
I kind of do wish, like, the movie's very long. You said 95 minutes or 99?
Yeah, it's like an hour 40.
But yeah, I kind of wish there was more scenes of small cutaway gags.
Yeah.
Like him trying to scale a wall and like not making it.
Can, just like trying to walk in as a trash can. Like,
a couple little.
Two dudes just pick him up and bring him back out.
Yeah, like I wanted to see how he got in. Like I wish it was like just a back door or something. I want to see him like trying to scale a wall or something
shit like that because like each time you see him, he's progressively more sweaty and more his clothes are more fucked up. It's
great.
He never achieves his goal. Like he's trying so hard.
Have they kind of had the confrontation yet between him and Norton or no? I mean, he's done the phone calls, and now this is the first time they meet face to face with the
Yeah, because that's right before the Nazi thing.
The cookies, and now he does a little bit more, and then the Nazi rally.
Yeah, because he leads him there. He calls us Mrs. Doubtfire, or whatever the fuck name he uses, but he uses that voice. And he books him a gig in some fucking tractor supply warehouse or something. He's like, oh, I've never done it. And he pulls out his guitar. And
he says it's like a cancer foundation?
Yeah, cancer foundation. And the kid's going to be there to give him an award for the city.
I have a question. When he was calling Sheldon to get him there, and in the cab ride over, was he slipping in and out of the accent?
Yes.
Like a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
He argues with himself. And he goes back and forth. It's so good.
Because I was watching and I was like trying to figure out his accent. Every time I was trying to figure it out, it was like he wasn't talking it anymore. Yeah. And then I was like, okay.
I'm telling you, this is the best Robin Williams overall performance.
It's great.
It's so
and the camera angle's good. It's like a serious angle. It's like from the back seat.
Yeah.
And you can see just barely some of his face. And then full Edward Norton. And Edward Norton's just like in the backseat oblivious, just like, oh yeah, you betcha. Like, it's so good.
Loved it.
And he throws the gay line. I love it. He's like, who was that? The rainbow fella.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're talking about Rainbow Randolph. Because he keeps trying to get Edward Norton to shit on him. He keeps trying to get him.
Cab driver.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. He's talking to the cab driver.
He keeps trying to get like Edward Norton to say something mean about him. And he's not doing it. He's like, he's probably gay. It's so great.
It's just like rambling to himself when Norton's in the backseat.
Yes.
That's what it is.
And that's what I was asking. Like, is he slipping in and out? And I was like, he absolutely is just slipping in and out of his accent.
Because the accent was like, do you know anything about the Rainbow Randolph fella? And he's like, oh, no, actually, I kind of liked him. And then that triggers him because he's so nice.
Yes, that's he's not mean at all.
No, he's oblivious to the beef for like 3/4.
That's what I was thinking, because I was like, at this point, he still doesn't know First of all, that Rainbow Randolph is mad, let alone that that's him.
Yeah.
Well, still, even at that point, he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He just thinks it was like an accident. He's like, I wasn't there for that. It was so great. But yeah, he leads him to a Nazi rally, and it's the most, like,
well done Nazi rally.
Slapstick in a way. It was like almost airplane, Mel Brooks level. Because one Nazi, I paused it at the scene, and he's wearing a shirt that just says, Hitler was right. And it's just like, what the fuck? One's got like the word Jews, and it's got like the Ghostbusters anti-sign on it. It's just like,
you know what it reminds me of, and I don't know where I've seen this before. The Nazi propaganda cartoons that had like Mickey Mouse blatant ripoffs, where like Mickey Mouse would be on stage and it would be the Nazis saluting to him. That's what the scene reminded me of.
oh, those weren't ripoffs.
Those weren't ripoffs?
No, Walt Disney did more cartoons.
Okay.
Him and Dr. Seuss both. That's
sure.
what
I may have seen it on YouTube or some, some compilation. Of some shit,
him and Walt Disney both. Dr. Seuss and Walt Disney both got their chops.
Right.
Doing military propaganda. That was their duty to America. They were on the radio work and stuff like that, just drawing propaganda cartoons. So yeah, the Mickey ones that like Donald Duck.
That's real.
Yeah, that's not like a deep fake.
I know, like, years later they went back and remastered, took the bands off, shit like that.
Yeah, which I support fully.
Obviously.
They're historical. Military propaganda is a whole nother level of, like...
It's art.
Yeah, it's its own
art.
fucking thing.
Propaganda is its own thing. How many cartoons, the donkey and the elephant?
Yeah.
They're in every fucking newspaper across the country. Like,
absolutely. Cartoon satire is just, it's a whole different thing.
It's a thing.
And I'd rather hear Dr. Seuss was drawing, fucking terrible Japanese caricatures.
Yeah.
Than killing Japanese people. Yeah, probably. That kind of whole deal. But yeah, it's just like so cliche Nazi rally. There's like a hodgepodge. You have people like in like historically realistic outfits. Then you, like I said, just have the guy with the white t-shirt that says Hitler was right.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck?
That was hilarious.
It's so good. And the Nazi banner is just like perfectly unfurls behind him when he's doing like the light in my eyes, and then you get the perfect photo.
Oh my god, it was the
FBI raids, obviously.
How did he get away with that? But they wouldn't let Robin Williams get away with.
Right.
That's where it falls apart for me.
Because, yeah, he's, like, instantly, like, they have that, like, the wave of quote-unquote anti-Smoochyisms.
Anti-Smoochyisms.
I love anti-Smoochyisms. I love it.
Yeah, because,
she makes a comment. She's like, I just got caught in a wave of anti-Smoochyisms.
I knew you were right the whole time, but I got caught up in a wave of anti-Smoochyisms.
Yeah, because, there's a little arc, and that's when Rainbow Randolph comes in.
Yep.
And he's like, well, just put me back on air.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, how did he get away with it? Like, Robin Williams thinking the same thing. It's like, I literally just took a bribe. He's a Nazi.
He's a Nazi.
And, like, she's obviously not calling for it, but he doesn't edit the game. And he makes a comment. He's like, oh, yeah, you should have seen the way he was hitting on me in the cab. He's probably gay. And she's like, what cab? And he's like, nothing. So he's instantly busted.
Yeah.
Is Angelo now being kidnapped? No, the first wave of hitmen haven't come out yet because he hasn't agreed to the ice rink yet. And
I think this is where
this is where Spinner dies.
Yeah.
Because now they're about to think Robin Williams because obviously the plan didn't work.
Spinner dies. I think they both get kidnapped. They both get picked up in cars.
Yes.
Separately. They're both getting threatened. All kind of shit happens here.
Yes, and now
the plot picks up.
The network, we're back to the plot again. Yeah, this is a little dry spell. The network is now kind of done.
Yeah.
And it's either you need to fucking play ball because we just saved you and you owe us, or get the fuck out.
Yeah, and that's when he comes up. He's like, fine, I'll do it, but I need creative control. And
now I need creative control.
I don't want to use any of the charity funds or whatever. We're going to do it ourselves. And he's trying to cut him out.
Yes, he wants to open the clinic again. They got closed.
Yeah.
He was originally at.
Yep.
Which is a cool little call too. It was nice. he's super likable in this movie. Like I said,
He is.
he has no, like, qualms with anyone. He is overtly, obviously, stupidly, like, oh, well, golly gee.
Yeah.
But he...
Almost Forrest Gump levels.
It is. But you kind of love him for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
It
what
is
makes
Super Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
It is Super Forrest Gump, now that I think about it.
Kind of. I
Because
kind
the
of got
world just,
vibes
like, magically changed around and they, like, fine, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. But, yeah, they put out a hit on Smoochy. They end up getting Moochie, is Spinner's character's name.
Yeah.
And they don't instantly know that it's the network execs, but kind of off screen, like, very quickly, the Irish mob is like, oh yeah, no, we knew it wasn't, blah, 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 we knew, because of a calling card?
Something
A
like
broken
that.
neck?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because it's at the funeral. Or it's at Spinner's funeral.
Yeah,
because they instantly are like, oh yeah, we know who did it.
Because
It's
they
like,
stand right behind him, yeah, at the casket. That's right.
I was like, what the fuck? What was the point of even, like, I get killing them off, whatever, it has to happen, but it was just very quickly they were like, oh yeah, we know who did it.
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't Rob Williams. It's like, but then,
That was quick. Yeah.
why give us the prerequisites of it gonna be happening?
Right.
It was just weird. But I do like her line. He's like, Sheldon makes a comment, he's like, oh, you don't need, like, revenge is bad, the whole, like, eye for an eye, world no blind, and she's like, oh, how did it come up? About the cops. And she's like, oh, the cops won't do the ball thing. It was just something like that. It was so great. I love it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you should just let the police do their job and bring them to justice.
Yes.
And then like, police won't crush their balls or whatever. Do the
it's against protocol.
Thing,
yeah.
It's against. It's morally incorrect or whatever he said.
I love it. The Irish mob angle was so good. I like that it was just thrown in. Like the movie could have gone without it.
For sure.
But I'm so glad it was in it.
I love that it's so over the top with the mafia shit. It's like there's the charity mob, there's the Irish mob, it's all these different individuals.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like Jesus, like trying to follow. It feels like an Always Sunny episode. I didn't realize that until putting it all together. DeVito, it's like, oh, I kind of get where this is coming from.
Have you seen Wise Guys?
I don't know.
I think Danny DeVito is in it. I don't know. We'll look it up after the podcast.
Right.
But if I'm not mistaken, he's in it. It's a mob movie, but he's not a mobster.
Yeah.
But another fun little movie where the mob is involved and Danny DeVito might be involved if it's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the mob angle in this. It's a good weird little thing. You don't get that enough.
No.
There's no one jabs at the mob anymore.
Nobody jabs at anything anymore. Everything's so serious and over protected at this point. Like, used to be like that was the whole point of movies. Just like the over exaggeratedness of it. Like,
yeah, I get satires are kind of done with because the world's such a satire machine now. But I miss movies like this.
Me too.
Where it was just absurd, but it's kind of realistic in a sense.
In a way. Yeah, there's
if a TV character does fuck up, they have to instantly clean house and get rid of all that merchandise.
Most kids' characters have fucked up past. They're like the dudes that dress up as the characters for birthday parties.
Yeah. And it's just well, yeah, you have to make these.
Most are fresh out of jail because it's the only job they can get. Dress up like SpongeBob. You know what I'm saying? So
let's remake that Smoochy. Those the hardcore ghetto birthday videos where it's the Spider-Man twerking.
Yeah.
Let's do one of those. I want to do
SpongeBob smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, the twerking Elsa, Death to Smoochy.
So
Death to Elsa. I want to do it. But yeah, Spinner done dies, and it's so tragic.
Yeah.
Broken neck.
Right when you start liking him.
Oh no, you start liking him the second you see it. It's so good.
I'm gonna go get drunk now.
He's still, he's so quotable. Speaking of quotes, the Edward Norton, it's early in the film, his Cowboys and Indians comment. He's like, I played the Chinese railroad workers.
Yeah.
It was so fucking fun. You can't write shit like that anymore.
No, not at all.
Adam Resner, or as Resnick,
Resnick is the writer.
wrote with him. He worked with Chris Elliott. It's funny.
Oh yeah.
He did Cabin Boy. It was it's good. Go look up him. He's only done like a couple things,
Right.
but the couple things he's done are fucking funny as hell.
I'm with it.
And yeah, this is kind of his humor.
Yeah.
He works really well with Danny DeVito. But yeah, now we're at the second wave of Hitman, which is Buggy Ding Dong.
Buggy Ding Dong. Yeah.
Played by what is
Let me see.
Vincent Schiavelli or Giavelli? I think it's Schiavelli.
It was a weird fucking
You've seen him
Schiavelli, yeah.
in every fucking thing. I know him from Dwarf on Golf. It was just a weird like comedy golf thing.
Yeah.
But he plays like a dumb caddy. It's so good. But yeah, he plays Buggy Ding Dong. His death quote is so good. It was, I never made it to Italy, or I never got to see Venice. He's falling on the ice. Like, I never got to see Venice! But he goes to Angela's house and threatens him. Then Angelo calls Edward Norton's penthouse. Ron Williams is staying there, obviously, because him and Edward Norton kind of had this like, because they instantly knew he didn't kill Smoochy.
Yeah.
Because he would have killed Edward Norton if he was trying to kill Smoochy. Don't worry, he wouldn't have missed. So like they knew it with him. So he's been staying at their house, and he goes to the ice arena to warn Edward Norton.
Yeah. Because he's setting up to do Smoochy on ice.
Yeah, and I like that it's the movie. Like, the movie plot is the ice play.
Yeah.
I usually don't like that one. Like, the film's plot is a plot, or like they're writing a movie in the thing.
Very tongue-in-cheek. Yeah.
But I liked it on this. It was so good to have, like, the Nazi Rhinettes coming out.
Well, like I said, like, this movie was already so far over the top. Might as well blow it up. Like, fuck it.
I wish I could be a fly on the wall and just see the smirk on Danny DeVito's face filming that scene with the tiny Rhinettes in Nazi costumes.
You know he was
doing these figure eights on the ice.
He loves Nazi humor.
He does.
He's almost everything he does has at least one Nazi.
At least one little weird line.
Nod to a soldier.
You can't, because
he's from that era.
It was that day. That meant something. To take a jab at Hitler. It's the same as like, because I mean, he's been in the industry for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
He's been, I think, since he was like early 20s or teens.
Fucking.
He's been acting.
Hollywood's a little helper. Goddamn. No shit.
Yeah, he has a really weird career. I looked up I do a lot of this stuff, but I looked at his Wikipedia, and it had like click it 2 separate times.
Yeah.
It was like I clicked his filmography, and it started like 2006. And I was like, what the fuck?
No way.
And it had a small like blue hyperlink. It was like, click this to see his extended filmography.
Yeah.
And I'd never really seen that on someone's page where it was like, okay.
So long that we're not going to bother typing it out. It would be too long.
Well, it was that, and it's because of the variety.
Yeah.
He's directed. He's produced. He's directed and produced. He's just produced.
Then he's acted, directed,
his company has just put out.
True.
And then his age, I think it was like 73 or 76 or something like that was one of his first roles.
That's insane.
Because I think he got his role with Jack Nicholson. They were both, him, Jack Nicholson, and Vincent Schiavelli were in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That is great.
So, I mean, that was a pretty early Jack Nicholson film. He was still young, and he was still playing, like, the bad boy.
Yeah.
He wasn't quite, like,
crazy.
Defined and respected as far as, being cast. So, yeah, Danny DeVito's been in a lot of shit. So, and his humor is very tongue-in-cheek and very satirical.
I love it.
But his directing is something else.
It's refreshing to watch.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a very turn your brain off movie.
Well,
in a good way.
In an environment of like we were talking about, the Paul Thomas Andersons, the Coens, the Nolans, the Reeves, the Finchers. It's good to have this something to break up the monotony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's so much like brain beating.
Yeah, our comedies don't really feel like comedies anymore because like everything else is comedy. We get it from YouTube, we get it from memes, we get it from like everything else.
Nothing designed to be funny is ever funny.
Yeah, we haven't had a Dumb and Dumber since Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
There hasn't been an Ace Ventura since Ace Ventura. There hasn't been a Death of Smoochy since Death of Smoochy.
It's crazy. But
so it is refreshing. In this little pocketed area of early 2000s when it was like still sort of okay, but we still had PC jokes we can laugh at now where it's like, oh, this is when we started, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and
It's funny.
Everything went mental. Everything went psychological. Everything went thriller-based as opposed to being defined genres of comedy, action, horror. You had that psychological aspect to every fucking movie. The early 2000s is kind of when you see that.
Yeah, we had a lot of, like, it was late in the game, like,
the 90s was very based, just horror movies, you had horror movies, action.
Well, we were still dealing with slashers in the 90s. It was still, we still had, like, we were on Jason 10, but we still had Jason.
Space, yeah. Space Jason.
We were just starting to get into creepy, weird, psychological movies, and it went from, like, slashers to, like, what is that? Gothica, Jacob's Ladder,
The Ring, The Grudge.
Weird psychological shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was the beginning of the end / the last death growl of like this satirical comedy.
Traditional, haha, funny comedy.
Yeah, because like I said, there's still PC jokes. Like the first Edward Norton scene when he leaves the methadone clinic, he gets a vegan hot dog and he has his own special gluten-free, weird almond butter spread, which is funny as shit, but it's very common to see that now.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has like a weird, I'm eating this.
Nutella, whatever.
And it's just, Edward Norton's the one. Everyone else is still eating a fucking Big Mac. Everyone else is still...
Oh, no, his character is straight ripped 2022.
It's insane. Yeah, you see it. Everyone is a fucking... Yeah, everyone's a Sheldon Moose.
Player. Yeah.
And I don't like it. In a world of Sheldon Moose, be a Rainbow Randolph.
Oh, I don't know if you could say that.
Rainbow Randolph. But yeah, let's finish up the plot and then we'll kind of do the last couple thoughts and miscellaneous comments. Buggy Ding Dong is quickly following Rob Williams to the ice rink. Yeah. And he's got a sniper rifle.
Yes.
Does Rob Williams wrestle him again? Or is this their first?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's their first interaction, I guess, because he makes a comment. He's like, "Oh, I'm the one you replaced me."
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. And yeah, that's his. I never made it to Venice, and just dies. And then Harvey Firestein's character dies. The top charity mafia, super heads up guy dies, and then Tommy Cotter kind of wraps up with the Jon Stewart and Danny DeVito.
Yep.
And they get thrown in the trunk, and Heavy Boys are to travel together. And credits. It's funny.
It's so good.
There's no other way to say the movie. It's just funny.
We hit a vein here with these obscure movies. This is one of the ones. Like, this makes me glad that we do this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I would have never found this movie.
I had figured, like I said, I assumed you'd seen it on Comedy Central at least once or twice because I'd seen it a shit ton.
No.
And me and you had basically the same, like, not cable, like,
right.
We have the channel, I don't have anything else. But
and, like, before this, I know Robin Williams, obviously. Yeah. But I didn't know him.
This is one of the movies that no one wants to talk about, and it's like...
It's a toy, I know toy.
Then don't say you're a Williams fan.
Yeah, I know Popeye, I've seen Popeye, you know, like... I
don't want to get that.
I know Robin Williams, but I didn't know this.
This is that weird fucking era.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite era of Robin Williams. If Insomnia wasn't in this patch, I'd say it might be flawless.
I say even with it, honestly.
Because I don't like his, I don't like Good Will Hunt. I don't like his fucking...
His serious...
I don't want to say serious, but he's just like... good. It's the same as Tom Hanks. I don't like his good, upstanding character.
Yeah.
It's just, I knew that you did Disney, you did Doubtfire. Doubtfire is fucking hilarious, still holds up. I don't want to see it 40 times.
Right.
If I want to see it 40 times, I will just watch Doubtfire.
Yeah. Right.
I like these movies where it's like, yeah, it's a comedy, so it's not obscene to see Robin Williams in it.
Yeah.
But he's just this disgusting asshole.
Well, what happens is you see, like, these actors that we're talking about put out these classic fucking movies. Classics. And then later on in their career, they're kind of forced to recreate them. You know what I'm saying? Or at least
it's because the humor catches up eventually.
Heavily borrow from at worst, but you end up seeing them repeat themselves. Like Robert De Niro has a filmography especially for that. Because like now you see him going back to the well with Mafia.
Yeah.
The boss man.
And you can see like he's just doing Casino again. Like, oh, he's doing Casino. He's doing Casino, everyone.
Pacino got in that role as a cop.
Yeah, I was glad to see that era end for Pacino.
Because, like, all the way up to Righteous Kill, I don't know if you've seen Righteous Kill. The
years ago,
movie,
but I didn't.
Him and De Niro's, the first time they were in the scene.
Yeah.
I remember the big hoopla about it, but he was a cop in that as well.
Yeah. Was he a cocaine cop that did cocaine?
Yes.
Did you see a lot of Robin's later career?
No.
His, like, Old Dogs with John Travolta, RV and stuff.
No, yeah, RV.
RV's a piece of shit.
You don't like it?
You like it? Man, your expression changed so fast. You were like, RV, I know that, I love it. And it was just like, it's a piece of shit. I just don't like it. But I like Old Dogs. It's alright.
To me, it was, the source material for We're the Millers.
Oh, for sure. Because, yeah, that was...
You see what I'm saying?
The RV comedies was like this weird little late 2009 era. And, yeah, I
Why
thought...
did it coexist with, like, us being in RVs?
Everyone was... Because everyone was, like, living in... Because the fucking recession.
Is that what it was?
It was a 2008 or 9...
RVs?
Yeah, it was a 2008 or 9 bubble, and everyone's fucking living in RVs, so they want to normalize it. I always think of The Always Sunny. It was a new poor. It was comedy for the new poor.
Oh my god, you're right.
But his later career is alright. I don't want to dog any of his career, honestly.
No,
he has some flops.
Yeah.
Like, you were asking him, Moscow? Yeah. Mornings Over Moscow, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I tried watching a couple times. I got handed it because...
Like Larry the Loon, something or other. Larry in Londonburg or some crazy shit.
I don't know that one.
It was the other one. They were in a double pack together.
I just recently watched World's Greatest Dad. Have you heard that one? Mm-hmm. His kid kills himself. Yeah, great intro, right? His kid kills himself. So
it's gonna be the snippet for this episode.
So Robin Williams writes he writes a suicide note for his kid to like kind of stop suspicion. Well, he gets famous for his kid's suicide note. So he fakes a diary, and like he keeps getting deeper and deeper. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I caught like a last or like middle patch of it while skimming through channels the other week. It looked weird but good. I want to watch the whole thing.
You know who I'm ready to see pop up in some of these Robin Williams-esque thrillers in this era? John C. Reilly. Kind of in his older years. Because, I mean, you've seen him in Calm. He was cool in Calm. He's starting to take on some of these roles like that.
He's done a couple. He's become the dad here and there. And he has, like, the nice, gentle beard and, like...
But I'd like to see him as, like, the writer. Let him be a crazed writer.
Yeah, I kind of
give him a secret window.
It would be a good, stepping stone as far as... Because he's already had that career going on where he goes from serious to comedy already. So he can do either, obviously.
Especially if you get him a good co-star. Co-main, like how Johnny Depp had John Turturro. Like, if you give him a good dance partner, I think it'll be fucking awesome.
You know who he needs? Don Cheadle.
Oh.
He needs Don Cheadle. We need a Reign Over Me. We need a John C.
Reilly. Oh my god, that would be... No. You just made me hate Adam Sandler. Like,
and yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's just Robin Williams has a great career.
I know.
Try all of his movies, but definitely try this one.
What you rating it?
Shit.
Out of 10. Let's do this.
Tim, just in general, or do I have to compare it to other Robin Williams?
Let's do in general, and then we'll act separately where you would put it among Robin Williams. Let's do that.
In general, it's probably like an 8 or a 9. It's probably a 9.
This is a 9 for me all day.
I have a lot of memories of the movie. This is like, I can quote the whole thing.
All day, yeah. And I've watched this movie one time, and how many times I quoted it. And I fell asleep 3 times in this movie. Did it sound like I fell asleep 3 times in this movie? Like, it's as advertised for me.
Yeah, you text me at like a time I didn't expect you to be up little and watching a movie.
I said Best Robin Williams.
It was like 11:30, and I was like,
you were like, what? Smoochy?
You up? You're never up this late, let alone like, I just finished a movie. So you give it like a 9 as well?
9. Solid.
Alright, what about to his other?
Compared to Robin Williams, like I said, this is my favorite Robin Williams role.
So 10.
Yes.
The perfect 10.
It's number 1.
Neighborzilla, good night.
Peace.